co-host to jump in.
Okay.
So you're looking good over here. You look like you're tired.
I am. I am. I'm in the studio, actually.
Oh, okay. All right,
I'm
now
in the
you're in the
studio.
studio.
Yeah. Hey,
All
everybody.
Hello.
all right.
Hi. I tried to
Hi.
find like someplace bright, but every room is taken up, and then I'm in a session, so I was like, let me just come in the hallway and
Listen,
try to set up.
it's okay. You know,
You
you
gotta do
still
what you
trying to be
gotta do.
boss. It's all right. Doing your thing. So, guys, so
Hi.
as everybody start coming in, just want to say thank you so much for coming in, tuning in with us, guys. This is another episode, of course, of Indie Talks. So, the one thing about this, I love on our Thursdays that we be able to talk to some of the most amazing, not only artists, but music professionals who are doing their thing and really blazing the trails in the industry. So, of course, for those who may not know me, I'm Aasha Lewis Redway. I am just one of your hosts and my beautiful co-host,
Danielle Meeks.
all right. And today, let me tell you, I'm super excited for this conversation today. We have the beautiful and multi-talented, hands down, just such a
Multifaceted.
just a trailblazer. We have. I'm not gonna put your full government out there, but I'm just gonna call you
Okay.
Lyrical. So we have
Hey.
Lyrical on today, guys. Let's give it up for her.
Woo!
Hi.
Listen, so super excited to have you, Lyric. I know that you are moving 500 miles per minute in this industry and doing what you got to do. So, we're
Yeah.
not going to hold you long, but we're going to go ahead and just jump right on into this. First and foremost,
Okay.
first of all, let me just, for those who are tuning in, let me just give you some of the titles that she has right now. Okay. So first of all, she's a former music executive, right? She hands down know her everything there is to know about the music business. Okay, she's a vet on this, right? She's an artist manager. She is an entrepreneur, right? She's an author. Motivational speaker. The list goes on and on.
I'm a mother.
A
Oh,
mother,
yes,
a
Mother. I'm a
poet.
mother.
mother.
Yes, you're a
Mm-hmm.
mother, and it continues on from there. First off, I
Yeah.
want to talk about you being from Chicago and really just because Chicago is the land of it of it all when it comes to a lot of talent. So talk
Yeah.
about being from Chicago and talking about the start because didn't always have a interest in music.
Yeah. Yeah. I was working a regular 9 to 5. I was an insurance agent for State Farm. I was a disability case manager for AT&T. I was living my life. I had my kids, and I used to be a background singer for an artist that was in Chicago. So just to dabble in my own shit. And then from there, my daughter decided one day, she just came out and was like, I want to do music. So why do you want to do music? You're a basketball player, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And she decided that she wanted to do music. So I'm like, okay, well, nobody can manage you but your mom. So guess what? I'm going to do music with you. So I started managing her, and I got with a company by the name of The Intervention, which was ran by this guy named Quick that used to manage the Rough Riders.
Right.
So he took me under his wing. I was like his little sister. But then shortly after that, I winded up having all the artists on the team. So I had like several people that were on that team. And that's kind of how I kind of fell into the music business. But my aunt used to sing with the Whispers. I played the piano. You know what I mean? Like I knew I was going to be something, but I never expected it to ever get to this level where I'm at.
Right.
So, but being from Chicago is cool. The roots of your labor are from, especially if you're from the crib, that's where you get you get your stock from. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
So starting managing your daughter, what was the plan? And also your daughter is Ashley Banks, by the way.
Yes.
What was
She's in the
what was that?
studio right now.
Yes, and we had the privilege to actually interview her on last year. So
Yeah. I didn't have a plan for that baby. I didn't have a plan. It was just nobody's gonna manage you but your mama. I didn't
Mhm.
really have a plan for her. I knew she was talented. But it's just like my son, you know, he's a basketball player in Miami, and nobody can manage him but his mama. You know what I mean? I just feel like I'm not gonna let anybody be able to get over on them. So
Right.
Ashley's a little bit more independent, of course, because she's 27 and Kamari's 19, but they know that I don't play any games. So I really didn't have a plan for her. I just knew that I wanted to make sure that she was protected, or at least be introduced to the people she was working with, so they can know, like, you know, you can't get no shit over on this bitch.
Yeah. No,
She's gonna
absolutely.
come through. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I didn't really have a plan for her, but she definitely had a plan for herself. She stopped playing basketball. She kind of went straight motion towards music, and she never stopped. And she was just in Forbes magazine for writing a huge hit for a snowboarder. So she's in the studio right now in New York. We're in New York now at a big studio out here in Times Square, where everybody comes and cuts their records. So she's writing for artists now as well. So yeah, I didn't really have a plan for her. I just wanted her to be great, and she turned out great. So
Yes, we love to hear it.
That's amazing. And you know, that's what I love. You know, I mean, obviously, some people have plans, some people don't. But you know, the especially from being a mother and really focus, like, you know, being there for your child. It's just like, you know, you just want to make sure that you're there to encourage them and make sure that they're on the right path. The one thing that I definitely wanted to kind of ask as well is that with you, because you come from, you know, I know in previous interviews you talked about your father, you talked about your mother. I want to talk about you building and building your legacy. Now, I know that you want your children to be great. Talk about the efforts and the end goal for you, and with you building your legacy for not only for yourself but for your children.
My end goal, I don't have an end goal because I don't feel like I'm ever going to end. I feel like when God decides to bring me home, which I'm going to be 126 when he takes me off this earth. Okay?
Listen,
So
I hear that. I hear that.
You better say that.
I don't feel like it's an end goal. I really feel like it's just one of them situations where you're always going to know who Lyrical was or who Lyrical is. You know what I'm saying? And you're always going to know that she was that woman that was from Chicago, and she pushed artists, and you knew her because of this artist, or you knew her because her daughter did this music, or you knew her because her son became this phenomenal basketball player, and you know, you knew her because of the company that she kept. So I don't really feel like it's ever gonna end. I never want it to end, even when I'm gone. I don't never want like my legacy to end. I want my grandkids, my great grandkids. I want all of them to still be able to talk freshly to me, even though I might not be on this earth anymore. So, you know, I hear those type of questions all the time, and I'm like, my shit ain't never gonna end. Like, I'm plastered on the walls, but yeah, no.
Listen, I love that.
Thank you.
Now, how do you separate the mom from the manager?
Well, for my daughter, she made me do it because we have a mother-daughter relationship that is just like a mother-daughter relationship that's not 100% always good. You know what I'm saying? So she definitely keeps her business to herself. And I definitely do a lot of things behind the scenes because I'm still like the rope, like, okay, she don't know, but she know, but she don't know. And for my son, he allows me to do what I do.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I think it's just a different role when you got a son and a daughter. And my daughter's very independent. She reminds me a lot of myself. She's starting to come on trips. So me and her were just talking. We were just walking through Times Square, and I said, you know what? She came from Chicago down to Atlanta on the 3rd. What's this? This is whatever date this is. This is what, the 25th?
24.
The 24th. I have been to Chicago, Maryland, Hawaii, LA, New York, and Chicago again up until the 30th. I've been all those places in 1 month.
Wow.
So I don't think that my transition of a mother, I'm still working. I still was on the phone with Kamari. I still was talking to the coaches. I still was talking to her. Hey, can you go to New York with me? I'm working with this artist. Can you still do this? I still was thinking about, you know, just different things that we have like as a triangle, because I feel like we have a point So it's just the three of us. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And my focus is just, it's no way for me to cut it off. With my daughter, like I said, it is a way for me to semi-cut it off, but it never cuts off. It
Has
never
she ever
cuts
had to
off.
say like, okay, Ma, stop, like, relax? Like,
Girl, she don't even say start because she don't let me know nothing. I don't know anything that's going on with Ashley until it comes out. My
really?
son knows everything. My son knows everything. Like, Mom, did you hear this song? But I really don't know too much of anything. And that's a protection for her because it's not always, she used to be like, Ma, it's very hard for me to tell people that I'm your daughter because they expect so many things. You know what I'm saying? So they're not understood. Like, okay, yeah. So, yeah.
I mean, it's also like they know not to play with her though.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, because they know I'm coming. I'm definitely coming. Oh, yeah, I'm coming.
Like, listen, I'm mama first. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah.
So I want to dig into the background in working in the industry. So first of all, let's take a step back because there's a lot of things, a lot of research that I definitely have done and digged and really just tried to talk. You have definitely worked with some heavy hitters. You definitely work with a lot of artists, especially now that have definitely that's blazing in the industry. But let's pull it back a little bit, talking about for you being a Black woman working in this male dominated industry where you really had to set your foot and really kick down doors. So talk about you being that woman and working in probably not the best of situations and how you made it good for yourself.
Oh, girl. We need to go back to the bar and drink on that shit.
Because we hear stories from a lot of different individuals from the industry.
It is very hard as a woman to get anything in this industry, especially respect. I had a situation yesterday with a huge amount of money on the table, and I feel like I didn't get it because I was a woman, which is funny that you even just said that. And it's industry based. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter how hard you work. It doesn't matter that I pop Dirk off. It doesn't matter that I pop Sink off. It doesn't matter that I pop Raven off. It doesn't matter that I have all these references in the game. That shit don't matter. You know what I mean? It's hard work being us. And it's hurtful. You know what I'm saying? I was in tears yesterday. Like, it's hurtful because it's like, it's never going to end. That's how I feel. And I feel like I made millionaires, clearly. You know what I'm saying? And I'm still not a millionaire. And I feel like you don't get the respect that's due to you because they either want to fuck, you either have to look a certain way, you either have to pull up to a meeting and you have to kiss somebody's ass. You either have to be referred to, like, it's sick. But the flip side of it is that you create your own story, you create your own balance, you create your own legacy. Because a lot of people don't know what we go through. You know what I'm saying? Just like I was listening to the interview that Mulatto had, and you know what I'm saying? And that shit real. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? The way that they make advances at us and think that shit is cute. And if you don't come to grips with it and understand that shit does happen, or even if you like flirt around with it, a nigga will try you. You know what I'm saying? A nigga will try you. A white person will try you. A person will backdoor you. A person will push you off because you didn't give it up. Then I got people that's actually doing different things, and they're artists or whatever. Back in the day, they decided to do whatever, and then they show. You know what I'm saying? All because you're a woman. And I don't know what you can do to change that shit. I don't know. I just feel like the best thing to do is just to keep pushing and keep working and create your own shit. But we go through a lot. We go through not having support. We go through because we're not gang or we not pulling up somewhere, or we don't have like a huge support system with people just coming to fuck with us. Then you still deal with people maybe not liking your post, or people not coming to support you, or people not looking at the podcast, or people going to somebody else's shit that's super popular but that's lame as fuck, instead of coming over here, something
Yeah.
that's educational and have, you know what I'm saying, and having a
Right.
conversation, not understanding that just to build a sister up, just to build me up, to just, because the amount, fuck the music, like the amount of shit that we go through just in life, period. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? We don't have the right support. And so I think for me, I've just opened my mind up a little bit more, because I think I used to be so closed-minded, because I used to shun interviews off. Because it'd be so much going on, and it's like, don't nobody really give a fuck. And that's what I used to think, until I realized, like, oh, I'm the bag. Oh, I'm the person that can create certain things. I have the mindset God placed me in this situation to be able to help people. Then what I am supposed to do is I'm supposed to be able to speak on it, you know. But it's hard. Like, it's hard. Like, yesterday just made me see that I'm still at number one. I've been in this shit for 14 years, but I'm still at number one, because I can't even push through something that should be that simple, that has given me multiple references, that has been 100%, everything panned out, and I still ain't get it. You know what I mean? But another skin color on it.
But you know what?
It
It
don't
could
have
also
near
be
belt.
something
It's
better.
not my time. Yeah,
Something bigger and better is coming. That's
right.
also what that means.
Yeah.
You know.
And I know, but from the human eye, from the human eye, that's when we look at it. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you always feel like, oh, it's something coming better or whatever. But it's like, okay, but you know.
So I have a piggyback question. I'm sorry, Danielle, and I'll let you go to your question. So I think about, I listen to a lot. I listen to a lot of the motivation speeches and interviews that you have done, and there's one in particular that you said that was something that was really that really touched you. When you go through these moments like you went through yesterday, I know you had to sit down with L.A. Reid, like a one-to-one. Do you go back to those conversations and let that process into you and say, you know what, I know I can do the damn thing? So
I think as of late, I never go back to my past of the things that I've accomplished, because that's like a big accomplishment. You know what I'm saying? Like, building my own table, building my own foundation, building my own label, having my own management company, having one of the most successful having that. But I think as of late, I just have not went back to, well, damn, Lyrical, look at all the things that you've accomplished, because I am so tired, because I have done so much, and because I still keep going, and I still have more to do. So I think that that's one of the biggest things that I'm hard on myself with, because I have to remember those conversations. I have to remember that I got a one-on-one personal conversation with that man in the in the lobby of a hotel, in not a suit, not him not being in a suit, and he came and met me personally and had a conversation with me. I have to remember that I had a relationship. I still have a relationship with Tim. I have a relationship with Jeff Robinson. I have a relationship with people that I can just pick up the phone and, hey, can we talk, or can you help me with that? So I think those are some of my biggest accomplishments. But I think when it comes to some of the interviews of just going back to things in the past, I haven't, because I've been moving so fast. And I realized how fast I was moving an hour ago, when I just realized I've been to 5 different states in 1 month. And that's a lot. And then I went on vacation with it. I went to Hawaii for 7 days.
Right.
And then came right back and unpacked to pack to be on the next flight to New York at 5 in the morning. That's a lot.
Yeah.
So go back to Chicago, and then got to flip to go to Miami to see my son, and then got to flip and then go to LA. And I still have a multitude of clients. I have over 8 clients now? 8. You know what I'm saying? And full force clients too, that are doing things. So this business, it's a lot when you put everything into it. When this is what you have, even though I've created my table, and even though I have chairs at the table, that table still has to be cleaned off and put back on, put back on. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant rotation of them chairs coming off that table, and them same people not coming back to that table. You know what I'm saying? It's a constant. My mind is always moving and always working. So yeah, I don't really go back to those conversations, but I need to.
Yeah. Now, speaking that you said you have 8 clients, how do you because I was gonna go back to, but I was like, oh, we could just move forward from that conversation. But how do you, as far as like determine what gig or what opportunity is right for whichever artist that you manage?
You mean if something comes their way, what do I feel if I feel like?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a newer client because I'm heavy on doing consultations now, and I'm heavy on doing consultations because I hate doing artist development on a regular management client because I really want them to kind of be ready when they get to me and me just tweak them a little bit because I see that star power. So if I have a consultation client, which is a client that's paying me monthly, I'm doing artist development. So I'm building the shit out of them from I'm doing exactly what I did with Dirk, exactly what I did with Tink, exactly what I did with Raven, the shit I did with Keith. I'm back in that mode. But if it's a regular person that I'm just grabbing, I'm literally starting. So let's just say this. I have a new client, they're on the table or whatever, and a gig comes up. So I'm the type of bitch where I feel like you don't pay for shit. I don't want you paying for nothing because your music is what's going to make you work.
Yeah.
Your music is what's going to make people like, damn, I need that person on my shit, right? But however, some people be so thirsty to perform, right? So if you're so thirsty to perform, okay. If you feel like you want to pay that $250 or whatever, me personally, I don't feel like you're going to get the respect that you deserve because you pay.
To perform?
Whether it be $250 or $500 or $1,500 or whatever, you know what I'm saying? People, okay? People be charging. I feel like if you're paying, they're gonna look at you. This is me. You look at you. To me, you look at it as a goofy because why are you paying for your talent to hear? But it's okay though. I'm not shunning nobody. But for people that I touch, I'm gonna work you. Them seeing you and if you follow me, you kind of see like on my stories and how I put people out there. If they see you working, that's what's gonna make them book you. It might not even be about the music. It might just be like, oh, this person got their shit going on and what's going on. You know what I mean?
Right.
But that's how I pick it. So like, and then like, let's go to a top tier. So I have a top tier artist right now, and she's an old school artist that's minded up coming back. Right. So in her mind, she was like, Lyric, ain't nobody gonna book me. Da 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 da. Okay. But guess what? She was in a Kanye documentary, right? From Chicago. So that shit went viral all over the world instantly. Okay, she was like, I need management. Okay, this is the perfect time. I'm gonna put me on you because when I put myself on somebody, when I put that stamp of LEM on there, people already know. Like they didn't come easy. You know what I'm saying? It's either somebody that somebody knows. You know what I'm saying? So as soon as I did that, and I was like, okay, let's work. She started getting interviews just off of people like, damn, she came back out. Oh, okay. Then she got booked for her first headlining show coming back out now. Oh. But she got that with Kanye documentary came out, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
She was huge in the industry before. She's huge still. She's she's doing shit with Apple. She's an educator. You know what I mean? And those are things that there's so much more that you can do in music besides beat of music. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many other things. Like certain things are of a look. Certain things are of, when you're getting a photo shoot done, like one of my sisters, who is actually my business partner as well, she's my stylist on my team. Then my brother, he's my person where we shoot the music to him to listen to the music and to see if this is what we need to be doing. So I've kind of developed a system to where it's not all on me. Right. It's just that I can look at a person and know if they're going to book you or not. Because I got a girl that's coming out of Chicago now that's on a consultation with me. And what I see, it's not conducive to what I know I'm going to make her be. But by September, when her consultation is up with me, she's going to be right, 100% right. Like from the look to the style, to the music, to her writers, to her having connections, you know what I'm saying, for her confidence. Because I was thinking today, like, I think people book me just for me to boost their confidence up. And that's okay too, because a lot of people feel like they don't have, you know what I mean? They don't even know what to do, or they don't have like the support or the conversation.
So with that being said, with the booking of like maybe just for confidence, because I know that there's a lot of artists, and I know you probably get a lot of inquiries about hey, check me out, this things of that nature. You said something that was crazy, that was not crazy, but you made a good point on you said you kind of want them to have be well put together, pulling and then giving them like the whole A&R spill, because a lot of labels don't really invest in the whole A&R area. So for
labels want you to be ready. They want you to be ready when they come to you. They want you to damn near have that team already. They don't feel like doing all that shit.
Not like they used to in the day.
They used to, but now they don't feel like it no more.
So for you, what's the first thing? So you say you found an artist, you like how you got your clients, because you find incredible talent. What's the first thing that's coming out of your mouth to basically to say to them, like, look, like, don't F with me. Like, but what is your word? What's the first thing you're saying to artists just to get them to understand, like, I'm not the one, we're really gonna work?
Do that. I turn it back in.
I'm real good at telling people that I don't need you. I don't care if you are. You came to me. I didn't go looking for you. I'm real good at telling you that, and I don't even think that that's a Chicago thing. I just think that has to be said. Like, you have to change the narrative on shit. Like, when you're working with an artist, I don't work for you. I work with you.
Yeah.
Because if your head gets so fucked up and so big, you're gonna start treating me like I'm a fucking employee. And I've had that situation happen one time, and I had to check her because I work with you. I don't work for you, because all of the things that I've done, I do shit when you sleep. I'm like a doctor that's on call. You know what I'm saying? But the narrative is that artists are just, these powerful ass individuals. You're only as powerful as your team. You're only as powerful as that person that you call and to give a proper conversation with.
Right.
You're only as powerful as that DJ that you need to spin that music. You know what I mean? Like, the people get so caught up in, like, oh, I'm the artist, that's her, you can't talk to her. Why you can't talk to her? Go talk to the bitch. Like, what, you know what I'm saying? Because if you train somebody to act like they the shit, instantly they're like kids. They don't think that they the shit. And sometimes you gotta snatch a bitch back, like, or snatch a nigga back, like, no. And so when people come to me, instantly I tell them through the gate, like, I'm not thirsty to work with nobody. I don't have to work with nobody. I don't want to work with anybody, but this is my calling. So I'm any piece of time that you get with me is so critical, because I have so much going on outside of music. I have my parents that are older. I have myself. I have my son who is trying to go pro and damn near is about to go pro. I got my daughter who's in Forbes and doing music. So I'm pulled in so many different directions. And I have nieces and nephews that are now, they have phenomenal talent, so I don't have time for you to come over here and think that I'm exclusive to you, because I'm not. I'm not trying to be. And I don't need you. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. Like, I've already got my whole...
It's like, regardless,
my resume
I'm still good.
Yeah. And not in a facetious way, not in a bitch way. It's just to let it be known, the temperature level that you coming into. Just the temperature, just so you know, like, it's not so much that it's hot over here. It's just, it's a real cool breeze. And if you fuck with me, it's easy for me to be like, I'm not interested in doing it.
Like, deuces.
Yeah.
Now, question: how, when it comes to, as far as like your team, because I know you said you have your sister, you have your brother, how do you determine who's the right fit for your team? If somebody decides, hey, I want to come work with you, I want to help you out, what qualities do they need to have to work with you?
Well, actually, what's been happening is a lot of my mentors are like big wigs now. So, like, when I got the situation with Revolt, so now people from Revolt refer people to me to work. Like, so the client that I'm working with here in New York, he's on a consultation status. He actually is coming from somebody at Revolt that's a huge, you know what I'm saying? That's a huge person like that. Or so a lot of my mentors who have been through just different bullshit with different artists, I'm able to have conversations with them. And so now my whole career has been off of referrals. It's always been off of referrals. And so now, because of where I'm at, everything still has to be a referral, because shit gets so tricky. You get caught into some shit that you should have said no to in the beginning. And a lot of that is my problem, because it's shit that I just know that I should have just passed up on a person, but just because of my heart and the comfort, the uncomfortability of seeing a person in their situation. It's like, okay, let me try to help as much as I can, but a lot of people can't stomach this, this move. So when it comes to my team, I've had the same team for 14 years, and we've tried to add people, you know what I mean? But it's like organized, but it's not organized because we work so quick. So if for somebody to come in, I've had people come in and work with me that have had their masters. I've had people come in and intern. Um, and it's just, to me, it's easier to work with family. Like my daughter is part of my team now. I have this one girl who's Asian. She's been with me for like 7 years. She's in Canada. She kills it. I have Diddy, who is like my sister. She's on my tech side. We have a tech company. So she does so I try to keep everything in house, but my mentors are the people that actually refer people to me that's on the team. Like, okay, work with this person, or let them come in and do this and do that. So now it's kind of been easier for me on that side. Yeah.
So I kind of want to dig in because glad you talked about the team and the whole tech. Because first of all, you have a label,
Yeah.
323 Music Group. Not only that, with the tech, you have created a community called Reach to be able to bring together professionals. And on top of that, you have Lyrical Eyes Management. And I kind of wanted you to kind of talk about that because I want to get to you being an author as well. Talk about creating these platforms, because I know, first of all, 323 Music Group, I know that you have a touching story behind that. If you care to share, but really talk about creating these platforms with your team, yourself, and really to build this community.
Okay, so 323 was yesterday, and that was my brother's birthday, and so he passed at the age of 23. At the age of 23, and that's why I created the label. That's okay. He's in a good space, honey. He is perfectly fine. So he, when he passed away, my daughter actually all the time in my business, like, Mom, like, you should name your label 323. So whatever. So we named it 323, and I signed my first artist about 5 years ago, and then we got signed with Atlantic Records. So I haven't signed another artist. I don't want to sign another artist because it's a lot of stuff that goes in with that. So that's how 323 came up. Reach, which is a company that, child, we have been trying to get this shit up off the ground. It is a company that's like, remember the yellow pages? Remember, like, you had a phone book and how grandma used to go through the book or whatever. So it's kind of like the same thing, but it's a directory for people like us. And when you feel like you don't feel like calling somebody to like get a reference or to be like, hey, G, can you tell me like this? And then they be acting funny because they don't really want to give you or whatever. You can go to Reach, and from all the places that I've traveled in the world and just the connections with the two business partners that I do have, because one of them is a big time manager as well. And so we just compiled everything into one like little hub, and we have somebody in Asia right now working on that. It's so much to it, but when it launches, it is going to be a spot where we can go to, where artists can go to. They can go find a producer. So if they're trying to get to this producer, then they can just go to their email. And so the email it will be public if that producer says they can have that email.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of trickiness to it, because a lot of NDAs, you got to make sure the person has to become a member. I think the last time we had a meeting, we were making members join for like $5.99. It's the app, just something like, so if they needed to come get their hair done, or if they needed to do like a caterer or something, we're just gonna build it in there. You can go in there, and it would be for y'all to plug in whoever y'all want to plug in, so we can have a plethora of just stuff. And you don't always. So it's like Google. It's Google for us in so many words. So. Yeah, so and the way that I woke up with that. The guy gave me that in my dreams, and I texted him like, I want to create something, and I told them like it was like a screen with like static on the screen, and then something appeared, and they were like, Lyrical, what the fuck is that? And I was like, I want like a phone book for the industry, and so that's how it came about. So I'm always like looking I always come up with an idea and just like text like the person I think should be a part of it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I back up and let them do it. And then it's like, okay, so whenever y'all ready to launch it, I send my little half or whatever I gotta send, and then we kind of work like that. So that was that. And then Lyrical Eye Management, she has been through a lot. Lyrical Eye Management was created, like I said, with Ashley. And I've housed so many artists, some good, some bad. I pride myself on God, you know what I'm saying, trying to make sure that I do everything that I can. A lot of people come through this industry not understanding like the business part of it, not understanding that it's very easily to get finessed. It's very easily for people to lie to you. It's very easy for people to make up lies. It's very easy to get caught in some shit. And it's very easy for you to think that everything that you see is how it's supposed to go. And it's not supposed to be like that. So I was going to let LEM go a couple years ago. And I had tweeted it one day or something. And I think I had never had so many, like, you better not, like, you know, da 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 da. And besides that, I'm a motivational speaker for management, you know what I'm saying? And just trying to help up and coming managers understand and like changing the narrative and not feeling like you have to get beat up. You're only gonna get beat up if you choose to.
Yeah.
You know, so any client
Right.
that you work with, you should make sure that you know how to speak in the verbiage and you know, it's a tricky game. And if you're a woman, it's even trickier. So that's kind of all of them in a nutshell, I think.
Got it. And I wanted to go to really quickly about you being an author, because you have all these years of experience, and there was one couple of things that I took note of just from your book, Don't Change. First and foremost, you wrote, so I know you and Danielle already talked earlier about the team, but I know there was one other note that I have that was called the jump feature. And you discussed about the jump feature and talking about when artists, or whether it's a manager or artist or whoever is across the board, just really just quick to make these decisions. Talk about your experience and you in having that some type of relation in regards to seeing it for you as a manager.
Well, what was the jump feature in that book? What did it say? What, like,
so so basically you were saying like a lot of people have the jump feature, quick to make decisions, and not really evaluating the situation.
Oh yeah, that shit. Okay. So the jump feature is, I've had that situation happen to all three of my majors. All three of the ones that I got signed. The one that I have the best relationship with is Dirk, which you would have thought that it would have been the worst. Because he's a rapper, he's a man, you know, but that's my brother. His children, I tell everybody, his two oldest are my god kids. And the jump feature is basically somebody coming to get in your ear telling you lies and telling you like you need to do this and telling you that you should, you know, what I'm doing isn't enough or whatever. So you decide to either listen to the lie, think of a lie, try to catch me in a lie, and just decide that you're going to go over there and work with them, right? Because the grass looks greener on the other side, right? Okay. So in the process of you doing that, okay, it sounds good, it look good, but you can't mess with God's anointed. That's how I feel. That's just how I feel. I feel like I have a different, like, I don't know what it is. I'm not the shit. But I just have a different skin around me because I've been through so much shit in this industry, and I'm still going, not off of the fact of me, you know, calling in favors or whatever. I sit very still when some shit bad happens, and I never say nothing. Somebody will try to somebody tried to publicly exploit me, and I literally just was like, I talked to my attorney, wound up talking to my publicist, and they was like, you don't even have to say nothing. And I never say nothing. And I never say nothing just off of the strength of, like, I know my heart, and I know when I work with people, I come in 100%, and I come in the same way with every artist. You know what I'm saying? And I try my best to make them see, like, how this industry is before they do decide to go somewhere else. That's what made me start doing consultations, because let me just work with y'all. and y'all can just go ahead and go. Go on, figure it out. Go on, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Because I put so much of my personal space into them, and I have to stop doing that. It has to just be business. And I used to be the bitch that would be like, oh, it can't just be business, because if something happens to them, of course I'm gonna care. Okay, it still can be business, and if something happens to them, then I'm still gonna care. But I don't have to attack. You don't have to come to my crib. You don't have to sleep on my couch. You don't have to eat my food. You know what I mean? If you want me to come somewhere, you're gonna pay for me to come there. I'm not gonna overextend myself anymore. And the jump feature is just, people will go to a different situation, and in a few months or a year or a couple years, you'll find out that you either got shelved, you either got fucked with no Vaseline. What I told you was exactly what it was gonna be. And now you're in a situation where it's like, you'll never come back and apologize, but you're gonna sit there and suffer in silence because you jumped too quick, because you just didn't have a conversation. A lot of people don't have communication skills. A lot of people don't have, like, let's sit down and have a conversation. You're like, let's talk about it, because 9 times out of 10, it's a miscommunication. It's miscommunication.
Right.
But when you're trying to get somewhere so fast, or when you're a person you never had money, or you never came from money, or whatever. I come from money. My parents have money, and there's never a reason to take. There's never a reason to feel like you're better than somebody. Like, stay the fuck humble, and that's the problem with a lot of people. Nobody stays humble. Everybody just feels like they're the shit. But like I said, that's because people let them feel like, oh, okay, shit, this nigga just walked in the crib. You ain't supposed to talk to him or whatever. I'm the bitch. Oh, hey, how you doing? And I try to raise all of my artists up like that. Like, you know better than nobody else. You know what I'm saying? But you don't have to. But that also starts with how you're raised at home. That also starts with how you're raised at home. And I tell my son is an artist as well. Kamari can rap his ass off. And even as a basketball player, I even tell him, every time you step onto the court, nigga, it's somebody out there better than you. It don't matter, like, that you can shoot. It doesn't matter that you got all these offers. That shit don't matter. Humble yourself, because if you don't, that person that you think is just not what he needs to be, he's stair-stepping, because he's watching, you know? And I've dealt with a lot of that. I've dealt with people thinking that, like, oh, it's better over there, and then you wind up having to fire them, or they fuck you, or they, you know what I'm saying, just do some stupid shit because you're thirsty. Don't nobody want to, like, turn the page. Y'all want to jump from 1 to 85 to 626, and then, like, skip back and then go back to page 3 or whatever. If you just follow the plan, it's gonna get you to where you need to be, with a lot of prayer and a lot of consistency. And motherfuckers gonna be wanting to be consistent. They want to complain. They want to say why they can't do shit. They want to make up shit. They want to use every type of excuse. But you only failing yourself, and that's how I feel. Like, if I went with all the lies that somebody had told me, there's no way that I would be where I'm at. There's no way. There's no way. I would have been stopped. I would have been quit. God wouldn't keep blessing me. I wouldn't be able to text a Punch, text a Jeff, text a Cat. I wouldn't be able to get in contact with certain people if, you know, I went with what everybody did, because they decided to up and leave me. Okay, you left me, but where you at, Jake? Like, you still doing ballroom venues? You still not? What are we doing?
Like, shame
like
day.
Girl, bye. Yeah, but then it also equates to, like, what do you consider as famous? People be wanting to be famous so bad. Like, what do you think is famous? Is famous being very well known, or is famous being seen plastered all over the streets? I'd rather be famous within my own right and have money in my account versus be phony.
Listen,
give me the wealth. I could care less about the fame. I don't want to be famous. I want the coins. Give me the
so I gotta piggyback on something really quickly, because there's a lot of talk. So obviously there's a lot of talk with, you know, we already know Diddy, Bad Boy, you know, all of the artists that's been on his roster and things. I just have to get because you know, it's so insightful, and I personally sat down and had a personal conversation with you myself. I just love you know, your guidance, and I just love how your mind is so sharp. I just want to get your opinion on this, you know, because Dan and I had a debate as well on Monday. and a lot of artists are coming out and talking about how Diddy, you know, he's not paying his artists basically. And there was something that was said, just like you said, you know, a lot of people, I think Loon was actually saying it. Loon was saying that, you know, hey, you know, not only I want fame, but I want wealth. So I had to make sure when I was going into this, I had to know how to negotiate.
Mm-hmm.
What's your opinion on
that situation? Okay, so this is my thing. So I feel like I'm gonna talk on the executive side. On the executive side, you can get into a situation where you smelling yourself, right?
Mhm.
Where you can tell a motherfucker like, hey, I want you to go get me some cheesecake and I want you to go get me some wine. And if you don't go get me that shit and it's 95 blocks away, you ain't shit. Your artistry don't make it, right? It's that. That's crazy as fuck to me. Cause who
You're belittling somebody.
what you gonna get off of that? But
Yeah.
see, you don't know how your karma comes back because you've lost so much in the process of that, of the type of person that he was. Okay, so we'll leave that on the biblical side, right? Because how you treat people comes back to a whole different type of a way where you can't apologize for shit later on. So those people, those artists that you treated like that, they were so thirsty to do some stuff that I know it's some niggas from the crib from Chicago that would have never did no shit like that. That would have never. Oh, you want me to walk? Or I ain't finna.
Cross
I'm
the
off the show.
bridge in the cold.
Okay,
To get some funky
we're not doing
cheesecake.
that you didn't eat. That you didn't eat. That you did. Okay, so we'll sit that there. So then you have your artists who feel like they don't know how to negotiate because they feel like they think they know how to negotiate, but they negotiate in a negative manner, meaning they don't know how to speak for themselves. You know what I'm saying? And it's not because they're ignorant, it's just that they're ignorant to the certain business tactics of how things should go. So it's a difference with calling somebody ignorant and somebody being ignorant to certain things. I'm ignorant to a lot of things that I don't know. You know what I'm saying? But I'm a listener and I have to remain teachable. You can always teach me something. But that situation with Diddy, I just looked at it like, first of all,
She can't even get the words.
if it's any artists that are actually on here, any contract that you sign, maybe besides a management contract you can kind of negotiate on your own. You can kind of look up the terms, right?
Mm-hmm.
But any contract that comes with musical, like you're the music, you're becoming an artist, like you're becoming an artist to me at 323. You have to get an attorney. And the attorney cannot be from me. It can't be from my label because that label is for me.
Because they're going to
So
benefit you. Yeah.
So you need to get your own attorney. And yes, you might not be able to afford an entertainment attorney, but you need one. So you need to figure out, like, you need to negotiate. Like, okay, I got this song. Can I send you this song so you can see exactly where I need you to come in and negotiate shit? I ain't got no money, but I need maybe you get a percentage off my song or whatever. But don't go into situation with, hold on 1 minute, y'all. Don't go into any music situation without having some type of leverage. And the leverage is, I need my attorney to be able to look at it. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, people be so thirsty to just get more and to sign. When you're signing something, you need to make sure that you're being represented in the most critical way, because you don't want to put yourself in a situation where you don't really know what the fuck is going on. So when Diddy pulled that, he was dealing with people that were ignorant because they didn't know.
Yeah.
Like, them motherfuckers walked to go get cheesecake. They walked to go get cheesecake. And then some of them became famous, but now they coming back talking about they ain't got their money. You know what I mean? They didn't get the things that they needed. They didn't get the things that they needed because they didn't even know what was in their contract, because they didn't know what was in their contract because they didn't have an attorney. And the attorney that they did have, the attorney was their attorney. So it doesn't work like that. So
and that's the thing. Like Danielle and I, we were talking about on Monday, was just like, you know, as bad as it sounds, as horrible as it is, I was just like, you know, at the end of the day, Diddy did his job.
He did. He did
exactly. Let me tell you something. When I got in that situation with Timberland and L.A. Reid, they did exactly what they were supposed to do. I was ignorant to certain things. You know what I'm saying? I was learning about having my own label. I was hearing like, oh, okay, you know what, Lyrical, like, how the fuck did you do all of this without having anybody? Like, you a management company, a PR label, but out at the end of the day, this nigga was fucking me behind my back with my artist. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But he was doing everything that he was supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
It was me that was, oh, okay, you know, I'm working with them, you know, even though I knew half of the shit that they were doing, even though I knew what LA Reid did with like TLC and all of that other stuff. For me, it was just like, okay, I sat down and I had a conversation with this man, and I won't get too deep into that because it wasn't LA that did it. It was somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
But if you don't know no better, and if somebody can get you, unfortunately, there's people out there that will get you. So like, I just try to go around trying to educate the fuck out of people because it's serious out here, and you will get yourself caught in some of these 360s, and you don't even know what a 360 is. You know, you'll get yourself caught up with giving away your 100% of your publishing. It's a lot. It's a lot. So yeah, you got to be careful.
Now, with just to like kind of go back with artists needing to have their own attorneys. Now, what if the label's like, well, you don't trust me, or you don't feel that I'm going to do right by you? And then the artist may feel like, have that thirsty moment, was like, damn, like maybe I should just sign whatever without knowing.
I mean, that's a conflict of interest right there. If a label tells you that you're not supposed to get an attorney, like, what the fuck? That right there should be the first red flag. Somebody has to raise you in your house. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Somebody has to
gotta go.
you know what I'm saying? But if that does happen, and you sign your name to anything, that's a binding contract. People don't even understand, like, certain verbal contracts are binding as well. So you have to be very careful, and you have to make sure that you have like-minded and like-spirited people around you, because unfortunately, you'll get your ass caught up in some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? So don't sign to nothing. Like I said, if it's management, you know, management is not supposed to. Well, let me just give y'all a little bit of game. Management can get between 15 and 20%. A person can, for me, I charge more just because of the leverage and everything that I've done and what I bring to the table. A manager does not get any money off of your YouTube. A manager does not get anything off of your streams of music. Management gets paid off of shows, features, endorsements, brand situations, different things like that. A manager is also not a booking agent. We don't go out and look for shows. We don't go out and look for anything. What we do is we manage the book of business that you already have. So when clients come to me and they're like, oh, Lyric, you know, I want you to manage me, I don't have anything to manage. You're wasting my time and I'm wasting your time, and there's no reason for me to take your money, take my 25% because you just want me to manage you.
Yeah.
It's a waste of time. Now, if I put my stock into you, and I put my spirit into you, and we're yoked now, we've been working for years, then you become me. So then that's an investment. So we'll keep working. But for anybody that's coming and they don't really have anything, and I mean your DM is not full, your email is not full, nobody's looking for you, nobody's booked you for any shows, and you're still in the process of just trying to learn how to move, then I'm gonna tell you through the gate, what am I managing? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna rape you. But it's a lot of niggas out here that will just believe in you, and they'll start working with you, and then they'll start like booking you for bullshit ass shows. Like I said, if you come to me, I'm gonna get in the studio with you. I'm gonna make you realize, like, okay, I only fuck with festival artists. So if an artist comes to me, I want you to be on a festival stage. I don't give a fuck about a club. I don't give a fuck about a lounge. I don't care about a birthday. I don't care about somebody's backyard picnic. I don't care about that. I care about you being exactly what Dirk is, because that was me. I got him from the alley. So to now see him transition to where he's at, and I'm not the manager anymore, but I manage the band, that's enough for me to be able to look at my brother and be like, damn, I remember when we was on the block, literally, compared to where he is now. So I just, you know, it's different perspectives and it's different strokes for different folks, but I think that you have to be cautious when you get in this shit, because people don't care. People don't care. You have to get in this shit knowing that people are going to switch up. They're going to. You have to understand that people going to come in this and be like, oh, I'm never going to leave you. Lyrical, I love you. And, no, bitch, you leaving. You're going to leave one day, and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, for real. Like, it's cool. But I would be, but when you leave, you're gonna be taught something. You know what I'm saying, along the way. And a lot of people are not out here teaching.
So, Lyrical, I just want to say, you know, I got 2 more questions, but we're going to try to wrap up because
Okay.
I know you in the studio and you're
Yeah.
going to, you dropped a lot of gems. So thank
A
you
lot.
so much for coming on our platform and really just sharing your expertise, your all your knowledge that you have for free 99 for right now.
Yes.
$3.90.
Yes. Listen, book me though. Book me.
Oh,
Book me,
yes, please. Listen, she does everything. Consultations, please. She has workshops, you know, and at the end, we'll give you an opportunity that if you have anything coming up, please share it with the audience.
I will.
But I definitely want to ask, you know, through your whole entire journey, what has been the biggest sacrifice that you have made in order to keep at it?
Let me see. The biggest sacrifice. My biggest sacrifice is not enough time. Now I'm saying this now because I'm thinking about this now. Like this is real time now.
Mm-hmm.
Not spending enough time with my kids, but that's a lie though, kind of sort of because I was at every game for Kamari.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like somewhere he's good, but I just feel like me as a mom, like now he's in college and I can't get to him when I need to, and that's just me. That's just the trying to detach myself and be there or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But I think my biggest sacrifice is that I didn't take care of myself. I did not take care of myself at all. I beat the fuck out of myself because of other people's actions. And I allowed certain situations to make me feel like I wasn't good enough. I allowed myself to feel like when clients decided to choose something else that it was my fault. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But then once I went and looked at their situation, maybe like years down the line, like, y'all motherfuckers still like struggling. You know what I'm saying? So that was the biggest thing. I didn't take care of myself. I didn't allow myself to understand what my worth was. And now that I know what my worth is, it's so hard to get to me because I'm not easily impressed by anything. It's nothing that impressed me. So I'm trying to get my life back, get my love life back, spend more time with my parents because they are older. My parents are healthy, they doing good, but me traveling the way that I have, and just like I said, like an hour ago, just realizing like I've been to 5 different states, that shit in 1 month, and a vacation in Hawaii, like I'm moving around too much. I be moving a lot. So yeah.
Just gotta take a minute and just
I
sit back.
know, I do. Yeah.
And I know you have said that's something that you're constantly just trying to work on and try to really gather, really about, really putting yourself, first and really in that time and giving you that self-care that you deserve.
Yeah.
And of course, lastly, being, working with artists and, because you do have a full roster. For artists that's on this live, for those who may look back at this, what is some encouraging words that you can give to them in their music journey?
Well, I have one artist on here that I'm going to work with that I love, and he's my son's best friend. So I'm about to take him under my wing and get him right. He is the next big thing coming out of Chicago. Okay. So he reminds me of Dirt. So I'm not going to even say who that is on here, but I'm going to get him right. And that's my kid. So he's like another Ashley to me. Like, okay, can't nobody get you the way I can. Just encouraging words for y'all is just to stay prayed up and to stay authentic to yourself. We don't need another Dirt. We don't need another Ari Lennox. We don't need another. You need to be who you are. Don't think that you have to have a gimmick to get in this shit. But you need to make sure that you are something that your fan base is going to gravitate to. You got to make people fall in love with you. And that's the hardest thing to do, is to make people fall in love with you when you're trying to get them to purchase a fucking product. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is free game right here. Get on Instagram and start doing reels. Reels pay you between $800 and $1,500 a week. If you can start making your algorithm pop on and people that never have known you start following you, because reels touch people that don't follow you. And that's what people don't understand. That's why you start getting all of these followers and this communication. but somebody will make you pay them to tell you that. You know what I'm saying? Like somebody will not give you free game. And when people do come to me with whatever budget they have, if a person come to me with a budget, then I know you 100% serious. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I kind of look at stuff, because for a while I was like, oh, okay, you know what? I'm not going to charge people. And then I started talking to people and they was like, Lyric, you do too much. You do way too much. And I'm not looking to manage everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not,
Right.
that shit, that like little management cup of mine is like in a garbage can somewhere, because I'm not really interested in doing that anymore unless I have like a desire and a love for that person. And like God downloads it in me, like, okay, that's the next one. Okay, you got to do this, because if I don't serve my purpose with music, then I know that that's what my calling is. And if I don't keep serving my purpose, there's no reason for me to be on this earth. So I have to keep serving, and I have to keep doing, you know, being a servant for him, because that's the only reason that you're on this earth. And so with musicians and artists, you have to understand, like, the music that you're doing is not for you at all. The music that you're doing is for, even if it's secular music, even if it's rap or whatever, the position and the power that God put in you is a talent that he's birthing out of you. So whatever he's put in you, it has to come out. Now, whatever comes out is perfectly fine, but how you nurture it and you love on it or whatever is what's going to make people gravitate to it. So your purpose is to serve. So when you're getting your music out, you're serving somebody, you're helping somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I think that people forget what their purpose is on this earth is. And so this purpose, the purpose for me is to love. It's for me to preach. It's for me to help. It's for me to nurture people, but it's for me not to exhaust myself with it. And I've learned that. But it took me years to understand that the love that I have for music is a different type of a love, because it's about God. And that's what people don't understand. Like, music started with the devil. And so when you get really biblical with it, you're in the devil's den. So you got to be an angel. You got to know how to get out of it and do different stuff. So yeah, that's the answer for that one. I love y'all.
I love it. Lyrical, thank you so much. Thank you so much. And just as we wrapping up, just let them know if you have any project, anything coming up, any workshops, because I know you do a lot of, you know, you put together, as soon as you put one out on Monday, it's sold out by Wednesday. So so let them know if you got anything coming up.
Okay, so I'm working on a third book. It's inside of me. I haven't gotten it out. It's coming. Okay. I don't even know what it's about, but he's been bothering me about it, so it's coming. Oh my God, I'm about to go back on tour with Dirk.
Okay.
With the band. So that's coming up April 8th. I'm doing this festival in Chicago in September. And it's just, I don't know. Some shit people ask me to do, and I'm doing this shit. I don't know. So I'm doing a big, huge festival with that.
Okay.
What else am I doing? I'm doing a lot. My clients have me doing so much. I'll be in LA soon for a while, for a good while, maybe like 3 or 4 weeks.
Okay.
What else? And I got a little boo, so I'm trying to like spend time with him.
Love life.
I was waiting for you to say something. Like,
we love to hear. We love to hear.
Yeah, I know. I think I don't know. I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot on the music side, but I'm doing a lot of soul searching as well. So I'm not, I'm all over. But like I said, my Instagram is my digital currency. So you'll be able to kind of catch everything that I'm doing and kind of see the artists. I'm relaunching my website. Because I am transitioning over to more of the consultation management versus the management side. So my artists that I do have on my management side keep me busy because they're more established and they're doing some stuff. But other than that, girl, I don't know. I'm just all over the damn place. I'm trying to get my son to the league. That's what I'm trying to do. That's so I can stop.
Top priority. Is there ever a moment where you're just like, all right, I need to turn my phone off. I just need to disconnect from like the world for like an hour, 2 hours, even a day?
I was forced to do that when I got to Chicago the last time I went. I was forced to like put my phone up and enjoy this person that I was with, and it was weird to be able to do that, but I had to do it. You know what I mean? And so, but I have so many people that come my way that, especially with my son being gone, it's just, I'm a nervous wreck all the time. But I don't think that I can I don't know. I just feel weird if I do because there's so many people that depend on me. You know what I mean? So I try, but I don't really know how to do. I don't really know how to do that. You gotta teach me how to do that. No, I'm
Maybe
for
like on like
real.
a Sunday, because Sunday's the day of the rest. So maybe for like hour, 2 hours, maybe.
Yeah.
Hey,
Baby steps.
try it.
Yeah. Baby steps.
Baby steps. But
Baby
Lyrical, I just
steps.
want to say thank you so much for coming
Yes.
through.
No
I just want to
problem.
personally say to you on here in front of everyone is that, I'm so thankful for meeting you on Clubhouse and us building a
Yeah.
relationship and just, being able to hear encouragement from you and just talking and just having a regular conversation, because I know
Yeah.
sometimes you probably get sick of music and everything of that every day 24/7. But I just want to say,
Yeah.
you are amazing. Keep going, keep doing what you do.
Thank you.
Like I say that to you and I look to you as a mentor. So thank you just for the opportunity and providing us, Danielle and I, with the opportunity just to have this conversation.
Oh, I love you. What I was going to do, I was either going to come to you or we was going to do this interview. No, I definitely appreciate you. And I know that, I know it's power in us. Like I said, you know what I mean? Just like from the first question of being a woman in this shit, we have to have more of these conversations so that we can so that it can pop on in our head of how we can create different things that we can do to make it make sense. And everything doesn't have to consist of $1. Like that's another thing with artists, you have to understand, like even with the consultation, it does take money because you need artist development. But like if you are an artist and you just know you got it and you just know you got to get to somebody and you just no, it does not take money to get in this industry. It don't take $1. I didn't use $1 with Raven. I didn't use $1 with Tink, and I damn sure didn't use $1 with Dirk because then nobody had no money. You know what I'm saying? And now, millionaire. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So you have to just make sure that you stay consistent and that your music is on point and take the time to study your craft and study the artists that you are trying to be like, and understand like a lot of people are creating studios in their homes. Like go to Garage, what is that shit? Garage, or whatever the fuck it's called. Go there and like a lot of stuff. A lot of people doing acoustic shit. There's so many things that you can do that does not consist of.
That's literally
having a
all you need is
like
like laptop, iPad, GarageBand. That's literally all you need.
Like iPhone.
Mic. People they really make music off their phones. Like literally.
Oh, I am. Oh, you know what? I am doing something. So in Chicago, one of my clients, she's 24 years old. She makes $15,000 a month, y'all. Right? She's a daycare provider. She sets up home daycares, and she's also a daycare provider. So this baby just went and bought a house to give away to somebody. So I'm doing an auction. As soon as I get to Chicago to do this, to have this meeting with her, she's giving away this house, right? She's giving it away. The first month rent is paid. You only have to put $500. You only have to auction. She's starting auction off at $500. The rent per month is $1,500. But everything in the house is in the house. And if you just decided like, okay, maybe I want to take a stab at the daycare shit, she's going to set the whole daycare up for you inside of the house. She's going to help you get licensed. She's going to help you get every single thing that you need to do. And then depending on how many kids you have or whatever the state allows, you get a certain percentage amount for that. So she just slapped me in the face with that, like, okay, we're going to give away some houses. Oh, okay. All right, so let me get my mind together for that. So that's amazing. One thing so that's one thing I am doing, and it's gonna be on social media because that's what's gonna help us kind of like pop it off. But that baby is she's 24 years old, making money. Okay,
well, as soon as you post it up, we're gonna repost it so that everybody can see that too.
Yeah, so she the transformation with her is amazing. She was kind of like a hood chick, and now she's kind of like, I'm getting her right, and she's turning into
her
this
business.
Amazing woman. Yes, amazing. So anything that I can do to help anybody, you can DM me, you can contact me. On Instagram, I have so many DMs, but I will like check them and get back to y'all and make sure that I help y'all. I do not listen to people's music, so please don't send me no music. Please
do not send her no music.
Don't send me no music, but because it's the process to go to for me to listen to the music. And I'm a very critical person. So if your shit is ass, I'm gonna tell you it's ass, but I'm also gonna tell you what you
You
need to
will.
do. I will tell you to go read the dictionary. I will tell you to go figure out what you need to do. But yeah, that's me in a nutshell. And I really love y'all. I
Yeah,
really appreciate
not
y'all. So
really appreciate
whatever it is that I can do, yeah.
Thank you, and let us
You're
know. I know you in
welcome.
New York, but next time we definitely gotta
like link
reconnect.
up. Yes.
Definitely. So, thank you so much for joining. I know we're gonna let you go.
Yeah, I got another meeting. Somebody's trying to come upstairs right now.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
girl.
So
All right,
thank you
well,
so
I love
much.
y'all.
Enjoy your night. Tell your daughter
I
I said
will.
hello.
I will.
And that we love you guys. All right, and be safe.
I love y'all. Talk to y'all soon.